Hey, what's up, everybody? This is DJ Keo, and today I want to talk about Mac versus PC for the billionth time. So, the reason why I brought this up is I was watching Mojak's video a couple days ago, and he was talking about his old MacBook, and he refuses to upgrade it because it's so expensive. And he feels like it's just a waste of money buying like a 3-year-old MacBook for $2,000. And I guess because he's in England, so it's even more expensive because it converted to pounds. But it brought up an interesting question, and a lot of people they're still stuck on this old thing of 1980 or in 1980 when Macs were on PowerPC chipsets, and the excuse of, well, Macs just run things better. Yes, Apple has a tighter ecosystem because they create the computer as well as the software, whereas Windows creates software for pretty much everybody. But there's a gulf between the two softwares, and that sucker used to be like this, and that thing has gone down to this now. And a lot of people don't want to admit it, and the change happened because of Steve Jobs.
But the biggest news this year, of course, was that we announced that we were going to shift to using Intel processors in Macs.
The reason why I don't like getting into this debate with people is because people who don't know anything about computers make arguments based on emotions, and it drives me crazy. Apple marketing. Now, I'm not opposed to Macs. I like MacBooks and I like PCs, but to say one is better when they're basically the exact same computer drives me crazy. The only difference between Mac and PC is the software, and there's arguments to be made on both sides which is better and why. Now, Apple used to be a lean, mean, tight machine, and that's not the case today. And there's numerous examples, from iTunes to every time there's a new OS, Mac OS update, it breaks everything. Any software that you have running on it, and if you use something external like a box or something you got to plug into, it breaks it every time. It's not even sometimes we're like, it might work all right. No, every time Mac OS updates, it breaks it, and it breaks it. Doesn't matter which. So if you're on Rekordbox, it breaks it. If you're on Serato, it breaks it. If you're on Tractor, it breaks it. And so when people make the arguments, oh no, Macs are better because it just runs, I'm like, oh my God. Are you kidding me? You can go on any DJ software today, right now, and I guarantee there's complaints about Mac OS. Apple is in an open revolt against professional people. If you look at the new MacBooks, he got rid of every port. There's no SD cards anymore. You can't plug in your video card, your video adapter to your monitor or anything like that anymore. You need a dongle. Apple is the king of dongles, and the reason why they do this is not because there's not enough space or it won't fit. It's because Apple's like, screw you professionals. I'd rather you buy new stuff, because they know dongles don't last, and so they have this mindset of, I gotta get Apple because Apple's the best. So you're gonna get your Apple dongle, and the dongle is gonna use the stupid thread on the actual cord that's gonna fray in 3 weeks, and then you have to buy a new dongle. So Apple just suckered you into buying, $80 worth of dongles for the new MacBook, when the old MacBook, before they made this update, had all the ports on there, so you never had to plug anything in, and it just worked great. Apple's like, F you to professionals. And this is why I'm using PCs now. Because if it's a question of reliability, PCs are on the level. If it's a question of running the software efficiently, PCs are on the same level. If it's a question of you want a laptop that is high build quality. Dell's XPSs are phenomenal. The X360s from HP, phenomenal build quality. Same aluminum backing, touchscreen, all ports on them, same warranty, same, like the battery life is phenomenal, newer chipsets, better video cards in there. Like there's so many points that PC is just crushing Apple right now. Apple went from Nvidia back to AMD. So if you use Premiere, well, I use Premiere, you're basically, they're making you use Final Cut because Premiere doesn't run as good on a MacBook or whatever that doesn't use NVIDIA chipsets. And like the Apple's doing this on purpose because they're trying to force you into doing something you don't want to do. And I'm like, why would you support a company like this? And nobody can explain this to me. And I was like, oh, it just runs. Like, no, no. Like, I know if you use a Mac, I'll go through the comments. Please leave your comments below. What version of MacBook are you using? Are you using the very, very newest version? Or are you using like version 2, the one before the last one, because you know that's the most stable version? And then that's insane. That sucker has a new dongle because the whatever the thing that you used to charge it before, or whatever headphone thing you used before, it doesn't work anymore because they want to get you to buy new things. It drives me crazy. Everybody supports this. You need to boycott Apple or kick up a proper stink to cut this out. Steve Jobs has to be doing backflips and spinning on his head like he's in Breaking 4, the Electric Boogaloo, for how they're running the company right now. It is insane. And people stick up for this nonsense. And all the Apple users, you know I'm right. You know I'm right. And this is the why I don't support it. This is why I gave up. And I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I'm absolutely done. I know I'm not alone. And I know there's a huge chunk of Apple users there like, he's right. He's right. You shouldn't have to have the fear of God every time there's an Apple update. How is that possible? I don't understand it. Nobody can explain it to me. But here we are. Every time there's an Apple update, people are like, oh my God, please don't let it be this time. Why? Why? And it's not because they're trying to make it run better, because everything runs worse because they're trying to make you buy new laptops or trying to make you get new updated software or whatever. They just bully you into it and everybody lets it happen. Apple, right? I'm sorry. That's where I'm at on this. I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate mail about this video, and that's fine. I can take it. Also don't care. But honest Apple users, let me know what you think. Are you happy with the way Apple is running the company and the current hardware lineup? Are you content with what they're doing? Honestly. And it's not like a knock of, well, you got to use Windows because Windows is better. Because I don't think Windows is better. I think Windows is different. And that's the key part. This stuff isn't better or runs something better than the other or whatever. They're parallel. They're two companies doing different things different. And some of them have better bonuses and some of them have weaknesses or whatever. But the point is that they're different. And I'm sick of the way Apple treats people. And I want to know what you guys think. From a DJing perspective, are you fed up with how Apple's hardware is working out right now? Are you happy that you're paying double your Apple tax for a slower CPU? The one that came out a year ago. It's in the newer models. Are you happy with that? Are you content with that? Are you happy with the race for space that gives up ports in the battle for a thing that you don't ask for? Are you happy with your updates that cripple your computer every time it happens, or you have to just turn everything off and pray to the mighty Lord above that it just works? Are you happy with hard drives that just they just stop working, and it's the software problem? Are you happy with if you have your hardware and you've been using it for a long time, it slows down to a crawl because Apple's doing this on purpose to make you buy a new laptop? Because if you just install that same software over and format it, that thing's gonna run like a dream again. And you're like, where was this? It's Apple. Apple's doing this to you on purpose. Let me know what you guys think. I'm okay with the hate mail. Your videos suck. I'm okay with all that. What I want to know from an honest discussion is, are you happy with the direction of Apple and its hardware, especially when it comes to DJ, music production, and art creation? Let me know what you guys think. Please leave your comments below, and I can't wait to see what this thing is because it's going to be fiery. Anyways, please like and subscribe. Leave your hate mail below and let me know how much I suck. And thanks for watching, everybody. And peace out, bitches.